Today's episode of The Mom Game is presented by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is, Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM-certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick.
Emily, you sound so demure.
I am.
So mindful today.
So geez.
More on that in a minute, but I have to tell you about Golden Chick first. Because Golden Chick is doing something really cool. This is one of my favorite things that they do, and we love being partners with Golden Chick here on the Mom Game. And this is one of the reasons why they give back to their community, and they are going back to their community-focused roots with the return of their local school charity initiative. They target individual schools that are near Golden Chick restaurants. They support over 230 schools within this system-wide give back initiative. To support, the brand is going to give 50 cents from every order of their new churro menu offering that is going on now through December 29th. So go to Golden Chick, order the churros, and they will give 50 cents back to a school that is nearby that specific Golden Chick. In addition to the churros, right now, Golden Chick is featuring new lemon pepper wings to accompany their spicy menu mainstay, those Wicked Wings. The zesty lemon pepper seasoning will coat hand-breaded crispy wings, making for the perfect bite. For additional ways for guests to find value, Golden Chick will have specials on their wings, including the popular Wing Wednesday, and they will have a weekends promotion with 24 wings and 4 freshly baked yeast rolls for $19.99. And for those who just like the classic Golden Chick menu, those iconically crispy golden tenders, Golden Chick will highlight their lucky 13 tenders meal deal with 4 freshly baked yeast rolls for $19.99. Like I always say, there's something for everybody at Golden Chick, and we love them not only because they're wonderful partners of ours here on the Mom Game, but because they do really make a point to give back to the community, which is what they're doing now. Thank you, Golden Chick.
Thank you, Golden Chick, and welcome to episode 235 of the Mom Game. Welcome into the Coppola Studios. It's a temporary Coppola studio for today. This is our last show, we believe, we hope, we pray, we keep our fingers crossed. This is our last show squatting on the Dan and Jake, the dumb zone.
Yeah.
Living room or whatever this is.
Well, this is just their studio. You're thinking about the Dragon's Den.
Oh, yeah.
The Dragon's Den.
I have very vivid memories of the Dragon's Den, unfortunately.
What does that mean?
It was just really, I felt like I was walking into like where a serial killer like makes his plan. Like I told Dan that, like, love you, but I'm like, this is kind of fucking creepy. Like, not gonna lie.
You broke his heart a little bit when you said that, I'm sure.
He could not have cared less about what I thought about that fucking Dragon's
His favorite
Den.
little place.
I know. Well, and good for him. And you know what? If people, dudes have their space. Everybody should have their space, right?
Yeah.
Dudes and chicks. And Mike has one at our house. We call it the fishing room. We've talked about this. He recently purchased some things for the fishing room, and he keeps inviting me to come in there and like check it out. And I'm like, no, I don't even know what he's done. I don't know what he's done in there.
He's trying to invite you to his space, and you're saying no.
Well, he wants to show me stuff, and I don't want to see it. I don't think.
What do you mean?
He bought like furniture. I told you about the rug he bought. It looked like somebody literally like vomited mustard on it.
So this is his space where he can just do whatever he wants, and he can escape you and your not you, but escape your OCD-ness in the rest of the house.
Yes.
So he can like make it. He can decorate it however he wants. It can be messy,
and it had some good structure in there. We had some good bones, like a coffee table and a couch, and this big chest where he can store fishing shit, all that. And then he just kept starting to add stuff and add stuff. And
because he can't put it anywhere else in the damn house, Em.
This is true. And that's why I've declined his invitations to go into the fishing room.
Why?
Because it's gonna send me. It's gonna get in my crawl. It's gonna drive me crazy.
He probably has fishing room fantasies.
Oh God. So, he probably does. He probably does. I have my way with my wife on this couch in the fishing room.
Yeah.
But it's actually, so it's also a kind of a facade too, because it faces the front of the house. So and it has 3 giant windows. And so we have to at least make sure that back wall is presentable for me.
Strangers.
For me and strangers. So I don't know. So there's no privacy in the fishing room.
Oh, okay.
Honestly. Like you can lock yourself in there, but like at any moment someone could walk up from the street and take a peek.
Yeah.
There.
How often does he go in there? And at what point would you be offended?
Never. Nope. All good.
Okay. So like Kelly needs this because this is my current problem is he's trying to find somewhere to put his golf clubs and he's playing a lot these days, which is great. That's his happy thing.
Yeah.
But I don't want them anywhere. So he moves them from place to place. I'm like, no, they can't go here. And so he moves them. Now they're in our office. They were in our dining room, which is the one room that I'm try to keep nice. But he'll just plop them all around. And then the day before golf, he lays them all out. It's like a little kid admiring his toys, And then he polishes them all for 2 days leading up to the big round, has them all set. But I don't know where he's supposed to put them. I don't know what to tell him. And I guess he doesn't want them in the garage because they get overheated.
Yeah. Is there a closet?
There is a closet. We got to weed it out, though.
Clean it out. Clean out the closet. That's for the golf clubs.
Golf club closet.
Yeah. Golf club closet. It could be a sports closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like random stuff, helmets and pads and...
Well, I think it just needs to be golf closet because he's got so much golf crap.
Shit. That's what I'm saying. That's a whole reason when we designed our house. I was like, I need a room for your fishing shit. I want it away out of my sight. He's got 800 fucking Yeti coolers, the waders and the galoshes, and we've got camo gear for the one time every decade he goes hunting.
Gotta have everything.
A whole. I mean,
I can't. You could run a little shop and rent that stuff out,
dude. I can't. It's ridiculous. And now he's into fly fishing, and so you got to have the proper fly tying.
I know. Stuff. And we as wives, we just have to smile and nod because if you try to cramp their style on these hobbies that.
No, I don't care. I like it.
I know.
But that's why. So that's my solution to the problem is I just don't go in the fishing room. So I don't know what he's done in there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go in there and look at it.
Someday you're gonna have to go in the fishing room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Miss Vicky goes in there to make sure everything's tidied up.
Mm-hmm.
But I just there was some kind of fishing rod hooks that were purple metal, and I'm like, oh, where did purple come into the color scheme?
They're just hooks.
They're these
That's
things.
Just a hook.
I don't know.
Don't let the color of the hook bother you.
They're big hooks.
Okay.
They're they're big. They're not.
You don't approve of the color.
They're
Emily, this is on you.
They're
it's a
bright
fishing
purple.
Hook. It's a fishing hook.
It's not.
It doesn't matter.
It's basically like a fishing rod shelf. Is what it is.
Okay. All right.
I'm going in there. I'm gonna send you pictures, and you can see what I'm dealing.
But it's his fishing room, so you can't really say.
I know. I'm not.
That's the whole
but
point.
Maybe what if something just happened to those big fishing rooms?
Well, then you're not even giving him his one little thing. And that's gonna lead to problems.
Okay.
Let him have his fishing room.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe I should not go in there then.
Yeah, don't go in there. Problem solved.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, we've got a ton to get into. Because we have so many things that we've said, we're going to talk about this. Let's put it on our show we'll put it on the list. Today we're tackling the list.
Okay.
We're going through the list because there's not a ton going on sports-wise, which we're going to talk a little bit of sports. And then we're going to catch up on all the shit we've said we're going to talk about.
Should we call this the tackle box?
The mom.
We've already talked about fishing.
The TMG
and now,
tackle box.
Yeah.
But
and we're going to tackle our stuff.
First, we do need to talk a little sports. I think my ear holes are really small. These little earbuds just don't seem to be staying in very good.
Mine aren't either.
I think I have tiny ears.
How do you know if you have small ear holes?
Well, if this shit keeps coming out
I
of
feel
my
like
ear.
everyone's ear holes should generally be similar size.
They're definitely not.
In life.
100%.
You don't think so?
Not accurate. No. I have really I have I don't
guess
know.
like old men, it seems like they have the really gaping ear holes.
Big ears, because they say the two things that never stop growing are your nose and your ears.
Okay.
Did I make that up?
I don't know.
Okay.
I believe it. What about your feet?
But think about, no, I don't think feet
Your
keep
feet.
growing. I think your feet kind of shrink maybe.
Yeah.
But think about old men. Like their noses are all big and their ears are giant. You know?
That wasn't very nice.
No, I mean, it's just part of it. I don't think about it. My grandfather had the biggest fucking schnoz ever, and his ears were so big.
No, you're right.
Yes.
Mine too.
And there's hair coming out of it.
Yes.
Gross. Old. We're old.
I guess they just give up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm close. I'm only 47. Look at me. Got a hat on backwards. Because I had it on forward, and
we need to tell everybody why we're a little bit. Well, we're always a mess, but
wait, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay,
let's talk sports.
But they're probably wondering why we look like this.
Well, I always look like this. You actually dress nice for the show. Okay, sports first. We're going to quick hit sports. Sports Courts brought to us by our friends at Tylock, George. Eye care. Are you tired of wearing glasses? I know I was. So was Julie. There is a solution for you at Tylock. George Eye Care. Stop laughing, Julie. Custom lens replacement from Tylock George Eye Care is one of many life-changing options from the trusted ophthalmology experts at Tylock George. That is what I had. I had the contact lens replacement. Totally life-changing. Totally amazing. I wake up in the morning. I can see. I don't have to just fumble for readers. It's amazing. You can see the world clearly from both long distance and up close. No more readers. No more glasses, no more bifocals, no more contacts, all that stuff. We had the doctors on a couple of weeks ago, and they were fantastic as far as filling us in on, candidates, who's a candidate. Bottom line is you just need to go in and let them take a look at your eyeballs, and then they can tell you the best course of action for your vision and what would work best for you. So schedule that consultation at tylock.com using our exclusive code, tylock.com/TMG. You can schedule that appointment, and that gets you a special discount up to $200 off of your corrective surgery, whether it's contact lens replacement or LASIK. So hit them up, give them a shout on the phone, or visit them online. Tylock.com/TMG. Okay. Rangers, they're holding on by a thread. It doesn't appear it's going to happen, but really cool stuff happening this week. Kumar Rocker, Jacob deGrom, and Max Scherzer will all pitch in Seattle. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's Rocker, deGrom, Scherzer. So really cool. I mean, Scherzer probably won't be here next year. deGrom obviously will be, but Kumar, who now I have been informed it's not Kumar, it's Kumar.
Yeah, everyone thought it was.
I don't know if we were
Kumar
just saying it
so
wrong,
long.
or I don't know if he just was like, I'm kind of done with Kumar.
He's resetting now
Kumar.
That he's
yes. So whatever, it's his prerogative.
Getting his start. Yeah.
Yes. So it will be him making the start on Thursday, and then deGrom back for his first big league start in 18 months, basically. And then Scherzer, who's trying to work his way back so he can have a normal offseason, because he is going to continue to try to play even at the advanced age of 40. His contract's up with the Rangers. But so anyway, kind of exciting stuff on that front. I mean, again, they're hanging on, but still, half a dozen games back in the wild card and in the division. And so it is what it is. I'm wearing my World Series championship hat today because I'm holding on to these last few weeks of being the reigning champions. But anyway, they are playing better baseball. They've got, since I think the last 20 games, we're taping on Wednesday, the 11th, they've got the best record in the American League. So they're putting some things together, which is an encouraging sign. The offense just, can't really get going. So anyway.
Which is just crazy, because that was what was supposed to be so good.
And the only person, obviously we've had injuries throughout the year. Corey's out of the lineup now, but it's basically the same lineup except for Mitch Garver. And so it's crazy that it's just taken this big of a downturn.
Yeah, just hot and cold. It just tells you that's the way baseball go.
It is the way baseball goes.
Well, that is exciting, though, about the pitching. And so Rocker, was he the same draft class?
He was
Leiter?
22. He was 22, yes.
Okay. All right, so maybe this could be a little bit of Leiter didn't really pan out like everybody was thinking and hoping.
And I think
there's a little bit of...
Right, I hear that, but Jack Leiter has plenty of time. Like we're seeing progress made with every start. And it's like I talked to his dad when Jack made his most recent start or before that, and I said we can see it. You can see the progress. He said, I know. And he said, I got to the big leagues at 21, and he said it took me 6 years to really figure it out. And he said I really hope it doesn't take Jack that long, but I have to remind him, and I think we all have to remind people. We have to be patient. Like, this is still a kid. He hasn't pitched a ton. You're talking about somebody who dealt with like the COVID years in college and how that affected development, all that kind of stuff. So there's plenty of time. The verdict is not on Jack Leiter at this point.
Because that would be very sad.
At all.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's just the fan. But the fans want the instant gratification.
Everybody
with somebody
does.
like that.
The players do. They all do. But
oftentimes you see it.
Yeah. But when you think about a rotation that is Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, if we can get him back because he's got a player option, Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, and then you not throw in. Cody Bradford has been ridiculous. Like, you look at that starting five, wow. Like, that's pretty. And then you still think about John Gray, and you've got, you have other Andrew Heaney, so if everyone can stay healthy, and that's a huge qualifier for every team, every sport. If they can stay healthy, it's gonna be a lot of fun next season.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
We need some positive things to look forward to.
Speaking of positive things, how about them Cowboys? I know. Dak gets a deal. It's announced hours before the first game, before the kickoff of their first game against the Browns.
It makes him the highest paid player in NFL history.
Yep, $60 million a year.
Dak Prescott.
Yep, $240 million. 231 guaranteed to get 1 million more than whoever was at 230. So that's the game that they're playing, is who's going to be the highest paid, who's going to have the biggest guaranteed, who's going to have the highest annual. But I'm like, good for him. And here's the deal. It's business. It's the business of the NFL, and it's the way shit goes. And does he deserve that contract? I mean, probably not. I mean,
no, it's just what it was going to take.
But what it was going to take. It's the timing of it. And he is I think he's an elite level quarterback, and I think he has the ability and the tools to do everything that you need a quarterback to do to win a Super Bowl. It hasn't happened, and he's got to change the narrative in the postseason. But it's like everyone else talks about, like, if not Dak, then who? You have no one. Like, not no one, but you've got to start drafting quarterbacks. Like, we could get into this whole thing, but bottom line is, he's a great dude. He's a fantastic leader. He is a very, very good quarterback. Finished second in the MVP voting. And if that's what it was going to cost for you to keep him, then that's what you had to do.
Yeah. It's wild to me that that's what it costs to keep him. But I mean, you have to keep him. And yes, he is good, and we don't have any other options at this point. And he does have, hate to say intangibles, but I love it. He does have them. He's a good person to be leading this team, and I think they saw what happens when you don't try to retain somebody at the running back position. Yeah, and it's like, you can't do that, and that can't just be your whole theory. It's like, let's just see what happens if we really don't give somebody a contract that's going to keep them here, and make sure we have at least this position kind of figured out for the long-term future. And they did that with Dak, and now I'm glad we can all just stop talking about it. Yeah. And he can focus and he can play. And I was also thinking for Dak, like, he has to be just so happy right now. Yeah. Like, personally.
He knows his future. He knows where he's going to be the next 4 years.
Think about it. So he knows where he's going to be. He gets to stay at his Dak yard and stay at his house. Zeke is back, like his best friend. Yeah. Like, for all we know, I think that's one of his best friends in life. He's said as much. Zeke is back, so they're hanging out again. He had a baby, which we know just changes your perspective in life, and you're more content, you're more happy, you're also not sleeping as much and all of that, but it changes your whole world. And then it looks like he's in a really healthy relationship with Sarah Jane, or the mom, or whatever. So I'm like, and I love to see that for him, because he has been through a lot personally. Yeah. And so to have his people around him and his family, and then of course a whole lot of money, hopefully all of that can show through kind of on the field for the Cowboys. But still, I mean, they looked good. first game. They
I
beat
think
Cleveland.
a lot of people were surprised, myself
A
included.
lot of people were surprised because they didn't do much to really improve. So
a lot of people wondered if there would be a Green Bay hangover last season.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff. But they came out and, they made a statement, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's early. It's week 1. And who knows how good anybody really is. You could say the same thing in college football. It's early season. You really have to give it like 3 to 4 weeks before you can actually get a somewhat of an idea of what everyone is.
Yep. But you might as well be winning those games along the way
100%.
Instead of trying to make up ground after a few games
Exactly.
because you don't have your S together.
And
the defense looked really good.
Yeah.
Good start for the Cowboys. And
And
I always like when they're winning as opposed to losing because
I
things
guess
are just
I grew up a Cowboys fan.
fun.
I want them to win. Yes, for sure. But if I can do a real big GM note here, if I'm Emily, the GM,
sure.
they've got to draft and develop a quarterback. They have to, because now you're like, okay, I forget Dak's 30. At some point he's going to start to decline. I think in the next couple, maybe not this draft or next draft, but in a couple years they've got to put their eggs into a quarterback basket and see what comes out. They've got to figure out
They do
and start training a replacement instead of waiting on the free agent market, all that kind of stuff. So anyway,
and they still have Trey Lance sitting there, but
we got a healthy dose of Trey Lance.
I know,
really.
but if you're talking about giving Jack Leiter time,
right?
I don't
Okay,
know.
but
Just saying, I still
been here
like
for
him.
3 years.
I still like him.
Why do you?
But he's only been here for a year.
He's been here for 3 years, 2 years.
Trey Lance,
yes,
year 2, not 3. A year, 2 years,
2 years. This is 2.
2.
Okay, 2 years.
Yeah. So it's a whole different team, system, coaches, everything.
Right. Okay.
I don't think he's necessarily the future.
Trey
but you're right.
Lance.
You're laughing at me.
No, you're
just wait.
Well, it's but remember that one preseason game and you're like, oh, I want to talk about Trey Lance. I was like, oh, did you watch him play? And you're like, no, I just.
Right,
like,
I know.
no.
That's why it's my thing now. I don't really watch him, but I'm hanging my hat on your hopes of him.
So you can be the one to say, I told you so about Trey Lance.
Exactly.
Well,
digging
his contract though, so.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so anyway. But good idea either way. That was a snide comment from me. Okay, and then college football, I feel like we have to address the fact that my Red Raiders are just struggling.
Are they?
So we almost got beat by Abilene Christian at home. 52-51. It took them missing a 2-point conversion in overtime to win.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we go to Washington State and just get boat raced. We'll look terrible. It's one thing if it's a shootout and you got offense and two offenses. No, we couldn't even get anything going offensively. It's hard to watch, and I can't figure out if this could be the longest Red Raiders season ever. And it makes me sad because I love Joey McGuire. I love so many guys on that staff and love obvious. It's my school, but it's woo-wee. It ain't good in Lubbock right now.
It's early.
So
that's
I know.
The crazy thing with college football. You can have a terrible game like that, and then you can come get a big
right.
win
And the fact
week.
that it's a 12-team playoff now, it totally changes the landscape of everything. Anyway, but my Red Raiders got some work to do. How are your Missouri Tigers doing?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you're invested in your alma mater.
I think they won.
Okay. Well, good talk. Go Mizzou.
I'm a little checked out at the moment.
COU. Okay. Let's get to our fun stuff. What's on our feed, and then we're gonna do some news desk, which is basically just cleaning up everything we've thrown out here for the last 6 months that we never have gotten to. So, but let's start with what's on your feed, demurely and Bradley, brought to us by Early Bird.
Yes, our friends over at Early Bird CBD, the gummies that are lifesavers for us here on the Mom Game. And we do have a discount code. If you haven't tried these Early Bird gummies, what are you waiting for? You have to try them. Our discount code is MOMGAME20, and that will save you 20% off of your first order online. It is a new code. It can be used by somebody once, even if you've used a different code previously. This one will now work for you. MOMGAME20. Just go to the website, earlybirdcbd.com. Use that code at checkout. We like to say that these gummies kind of take the edge off after a long day. Maybe you have one glass of wine, you have your gummy, and then you can put your feet up and your brain can relax, and you can just kind of wind down with one of these bad boys. It's great for a mom that has everything swirling in her head all of the time, or a dad, or somebody that has no kids. We all have a crazy brain sometimes, and these will kind of help you just chill out. There is a microdose of THC from hemp in these things. That's the core feature of the gummies. And that's probably just one thing that you want to make sure that you know before you take it. And if you got to go take a drug test or something, maybe don't try the early bird gummy right before your drug test. But if you're in the clear in that regard, then go for it. Give it a shot. We absolutely love them here on the show. Earlybirdcbd.com, Mom Game 20.
Yay, early bird. Okay, so we alluded to this earlier. So stuff that we're seeing on social media, I feel like every day that goes by, obviously I get older, but I become more out of touch with like pop culture or shit that's going on. Mm-hmm. So like when people started posting like when Kamala announced that she was gonna, run for president instead of Joe Biden, whatever. And they were calling brat, she's a brat, and it's a brat summer. And I'm like, what the fuck is brat?
Yeah.
And what is brat summer?
Because last year was a hot girl summer, right?
Yes.
And so this year was a
brat summer.
So
I don't even know what it means. So I did ask my friend Kennedy Landry, who covers the Rangers for MLB.com.
Yeah.
So because Kennedy's like 12, and so I always ask her stuff. I'm like, what does brat mean? And I'm like, is it a good thing? They're like, yes, brat is a good thing. Some singer that's like named, Killa XYZ did a song about that has brat, and so that it just kind of took off. So then it was brat, right? Can you help, Danny?
Danny, help.
No, there's no way You're a middle-aged white dude. There's zero chance you know what brat summer means. But you could do some research.
You gonna let her talk to you like that?
He is. No, he's not. He's gonna.
Danny, save us.
Okay, Danny Balis, our producer. Okay. Oh, you're gonna explain it to us. Oh.
I'm not gonna explain anything.
Okay.
I just think it's really funny to hear that you're having to go to millennials to find out stuff that you could largely figure out just with context clues.
Have you met me, Danny? I'm not good at clues. Like, I need someone to tell me exactly.
It was Charlie XCX.
Okay, see?
Killa XYZ.
Charlie XCX. Killa XYZ. I mean, maybe that's going to be my new name.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's where it started. But like apparently, yeah, I don't know. So then I'm like, okay, well then let's do something bratty. Let's get hip. And then it's like, nope, now that's done. Now we're on demure. And then I got tired of asking people and feeling stupid. So I did Google that one. And so then it comes up. Have you seen the clip of this person? I think it's a female or a male. I don't know how she or he identifies, but they're talking about like, it's the way they say it, like, look at me. It's look at my nails. They're demure taste. I don't know. Anyway, it's the way they're talking. And it's just so apparently this blew up.
Yes.
And so then everybody's posting like stuff with
mindful,
demure and mindful. Yes.
So mindful. So
mindful,
demure.
So demure.
So it's similar to the Pookie thing. And it's like,
100%.
Someone just says something.
Yes, but I feel like I'm so late to parties. Like I'm like, okay, well, let's get quintessential Pookie.
I know.
And it's like, no, that's
is Pookie
old.
over? I just started following Pookie.
I didn't follow. Yeah, I didn't follow her.
Do you know what the demure and mindful thing is?
No, and look, Emily, you're closer to my age than you, Jules. So I'm going to largely speak to you.
Okay.
Don't give a shit about this stuff.
No, I don't. But I like to know about it.
You want to feel like you're in on the code that's being spoken around you, or do you want to incorporate this stuff into your everyday vernacular? What's your strategy here?
Be in the loop. Definitely not going to incorporate it.
Okay.
But I think more so even because because of my kids.
Yeah.
So Hattie got in the car talking about demure, and I'm like, what in the actual fuck? Like, so it's almost keeping up with the lingo with the kids. But then yesterday I picked her up from school, and I was like, I just can't remember what I was saying, but I was like, Skibbity Ohio Riz, and she's like, Mom. And I'm like, what? I mean, I'm sorry, is that cringe? I mean, maybe I'm a little mid.
Emily.
And she's like, oh my God, stop.
But you were doing that on purpose, right?
Totally doing
Trying
it on
to
purpose. Yes.
embarrass
It's the
her.
same reason when I drop her off at school, I roll down the window and scream, I love her. Love you! I love you!
Oh
Or
my
blare
God.
like Vanilla Ice or some stupid shit. Like, but I kind of want to be in the know, but I definitely don't need to, like, I don't need to post something. But it's like every time I think of like, ooh, that would be a good idea. Like, I'll do, this is very demure. Like, I could be haha and get in on this trend. And then it's like already way past
Yeah.
stuff.
It's fun to use that stuff, ironically, with your friends, your contemporaries. But when you start turning it back on your kids, there's no faster way to make them hate your guts.
Right.
Seriously.
There are Instagram accounts that are dedicated to these content creators that intentionally film themselves in their cars with their kids.
Like ordering takeout.
You need to do
It's
that,
the British
Emily.
guy.
Yes,
Have you seen
it's
him?
hilarious.
He's brilliant.
He is.
And his daughter's like, Dad, like he's on the phone with his work going, yo, man, I'm bringing my drip today.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And she's like, Dad, don't. Dad, don't. You're going to get fired.
I know.
And he's like, not even on the phone, but he's filming her. And
Right.
It's brilliant.
And like, or the drive-through, and he's like dropping every
Okay.
dumb
Every other word.
lingo.
Can we have you do this for your homework?
Yeah.
Next time, maybe even today or whatever. Next time you pick up Hattie
Okay.
and she gets in the car at school, I need you to drop all of the cool terms
Okay.
that you possibly
So what do I
can.
need? Like Skibbity Ohio Riz,
Sure.
mid cringe.
And if and if she starts like acting like, why are you so demure? Like
Okay.
work
Okay.
that in, demure, mindful. What else are we working with?
The Brat's too old. That was last. No,
I think brat is still a thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
You could probably find a comprehensive list.
You
Yeah.
probably
online
could.
somewhere.
To
Yeah.
see how many I
Current
could work
millennial
in.
terms,
Yes.
yeah.
Like, did you see where Dak on that one press conference, he saw how many Post Malone song titles he could work into a press conference? Like, maybe I'll do that. See how many millennial lingo
I think it'd be great
items I can throw
because
in.
Hattie gets so embarrassed.
Yes.
She's right in that age. I also think,
she's so in that age.
isn't it just funny too, like how many like big companies spend so much money trying to come up with these marketing like terms or gimmicks or songs that people
And then there's
sing
some
that will take
person
off, and
on
then some
yes.
weirdo saying mindful or demure, and it will span from like someone Hattie's age to someone our age that everybody is saying it, or like the Hawk Tua girl.
Oh my gosh.
Like everybody knows who that is and was talking about it, and she's famous. It's just crazy, and that's all social media, right? How it can just spiral out of control.
Yeah, it's
and then the
scary-
brands are trying to get a hold of those things.
Yep.
It's like
it's a scary thing, and
it's just all organic.
but it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Whether it's positive or negative, it's so powerful.
Gosh, how do we get one? How do we create one?
That's the thing is, I think it's hard to. I think you can't force it.
But apparently the mindful demure girl was trying for like years to go viral on TikTok.
She was.
Yeah.
Well, it
Like,
happened.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. One other thing I wanted to talk about that almost sent me into like wanted to make me throw my phone against the wall. So, sometimes I get lost in these Instagram or you're just scrolling or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this one lady last night, it was like, come make floral ghosts with me. And I was like, I want to kill you. I want to kill. There's nothing I can think of that I would rather do less than make floral ghosts.
Okay, what?
Like Halloween decorations. First of
Okay.
all, it's fucking early September. Stop talking
people
about
are
Halloween.
starting with Halloween.
Stop. Second of all, I don't want to make stuff. And if I did make stuff, I don't want to make floral ghosts. Like, what are we doing?
Wait, like what? I'm so confused.
They're ghosts with flowers on them.
Okay, just to have
Floral
around your house?
Ghosts. I don't know. This woman sent me into such a rage with the
can
floral
tell.
ghost
But you didn't
that
have-
I
you could
just immediately
you could
moved
just-
up.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to look her up. Floral ghost. You're gonna see her.
So was it something about her that was really annoying too? It
I
wasn't
don't
just
know.
the floral ghost.
Maybe, and I think it was also my own inadequacies where all these people are like doing all this creative shit.
How did she get in your algorithm?
How did someone creative get in your
Yeah, like why are you getting
Floral
home crafters in your feed?
Seriously. Floral ghosts. I'm gonna search it. Oh, Meta, why does it have to do this? No, I just want to search floral goats.
I
on
feel like we
Instagram.
need to introduce Danny a little bit to the audience and talk about your son and because I want to ask about Halloween and decorations.
Oh, ask him what Malcolm said to some.
Oh, I already told her on the stairwell.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you need to repeat.
Yeah, well, for like anybody that doesn't know Danny, we've known Danny forever.
20 years.
20 years.
Yep.
They have, worked at the Ticket, worked at the Freak with us, and now he's part of this dysfunctional family.
This podcast network.
Our podcast network.
It was seemingly ever expanding by the weeks. And you
Oh,
guys
yeah, it
are, doing this now with no puppet, and then don't we? Is it official that Dirtbag Culture Hour is an addition? Dropped yesterday. So TC and George, they had a very popular, fun show that was on for a while on Saturdays on 97.1, and now they're doing a weekly.
That's
podcast.
awesome. Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It's growing rapidly.
Mhm.
And so you're going to help us. You're going to be a part of the mom game, essentially, moving forward and helping us. And
one day a week, and kind of freelance, and just kind of like an associate producer, assistant producer for Jake and Dan and Blake, and whatever I can do to help out. And who knows what that'll turn into.
And you have Malcolm, who is
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Okay, and share with everyone what Malcolm had to say on your weekly trip to Target.
Okay, and I think there's probably a lot of boys that are this way, but Malcolm is in the upper echelon of willful children that is adamant about being heard, getting his way, saying what he wants to say, will say anything to anybody at any given time, expresses his emotions, his feelings. It's all out there. And we were walking from Target to Old Navy. I live in Far East Dallas, so Mesquite's kind of closer to go to all the commerce than going into Dallas.
Yeah.
There's traffic, obviously. So we were on a Target run, and Old Navy's like right down the thing. So we'll do that and go see what they got. Some kids crap on sale. So we're rolling down to Old Navy, and these two Latina women are walking towards us, and Malcolm stops, and he looks at them, and he points, and he goes, "I want to touch your big bum."
No. And did they hear?
Oh, fuck yeah, they heard.
Your big bums?
Big, not just one big, two bigs.
Holy moly.
I want to touch your big bums.
I would tell you, I dream of hearing those words from someone. As someone who was called dishpan ass in high school, someone saying, "I want to touch your big bum" would give me so much joy. It's unbelievable.
Oh, well, we can go hang out with Malcolm.
Well, but he would be like, "I want to touch your flat booty."
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what happened next?
It was met with uncertainty of kind of wondering if they were trying to determine if what he said was what he said. And then once it became apparent that, he speaks pretty clearly, and they look at me, and I just am like,
"What do you do?"
It's always arms in the air. Anything,
what do you do?
It is a fucking extravaganza to go out in public with him. It is a white knuckle ride anytime we pass another human being, because you never know what he's going to say.
Right.
It could be a woman with a short haircut, and he will say, "Hey, are you a boy or a girl?"
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Zero filter, but also like he sounds like he's really funny.
If I try to correct it on the spot, it looks like, "Hey, don't say that," because maybe he's interpreting something that I said. I just go, "Look, man, he's 3." This.
And one of the weirdest and hardest things to teach kids is to be honest, but tactful. Like, it's hard to teach a tiny human that. It's like we all have thoughts.
His brain does not compute tact.
It's just don't say everything you're thinking, but you want them to talk and express themselves. And so it's really hard, and there's really no way to.
You just have to roll with it.
Except like just,
Does
oh my
make
gosh.
things so entertaining though. It's so awesome. Okay, I found it.
Big butt.
Big bum.
Big bum.
Big bum.
Bum.
Oh my gosh.
Come make the viral floral ghosts with me. Did the cutest craft with the kids.
Oh my gosh.
Let's make the viral floral ghost.
Okay.
Look at this.
So what is she?
I don't know.
It
looks like pie crust, and and then she's got Mod Podge, and
I think this looks cute.
Who?
Oh, that's a little too much. Just before she started painting, I thought I could hang. I thought I could do it. You could also make a ghost out of tortillas.
Yeah, or you could just go buy a ghost decoration at the store.
Well, That's not as fun.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
I did see one thing. I have one goal this Halloween.
Okay.
I am going to make ghost space buns on Anna's hair. I did see this one cute thing on Instagram or whatever.
Buns?
So space buns are when you have the two buns,
Okay.
on your head. And I saw ghosts. And instead of getting really mad at it, I was like, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to pick one thing. Because I am like you. I don't do this stuff. But the time is fleeting with like a little girl. And I try so hard. And I'm surrounded by so many moms that do all this shit.
Okay. Can we put odds on the execution of this?
You don't think I'm going to do it? I'm going to do it. So it's like
I'm hoping to motivate you with my doubt.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
Because your follow through on things like this
I know.
is a pretty
I know.
Pretty
I still
low
gotten
rate.
cellophane for the wine bottles
So
for our
many
guests. You bring it
so
up all
many
the time.
things. Oh, look, there it is. There's the ghost. There's the ghost buns.
Oh, cool.
Can you see it on your monitor?
That is soup's cute.
Oh, I can show you.
No, but that's awesome. Rob is awesome at doing that. Woo. It's okay. I saw it.
You've seen them.
Yeah.
Okay, Now we know. Now we know what the ghost buns look like.
So you see the ghost buns?
Okay, I will tell you. This is
For the hair?
This could be the easiest
But you have to get googly eyes.
thing to execute.
Yeah.
Okay.
That lady just drew them on with a magic marker.
Yeah.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
See, I could do that. So it's just like a white net.
Okay,
It's
now
a handkerchief that you just put a hair tie around your existing.
you could just do a
buns
paper
and-
towel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
If
could.
you really want to mail it in.
That might look
okay,
a little
well,
trashy.
I am now
Oh, look, there we are.
I'm upping your probability of completing this task.
Yes,
Seeing
isn't that cute?
seeing that. Okay.
It's so cute. So that's my whole goal this Halloween.
Okay.
And maybe I'm going to do it. Maybe she'll do it every day for like a
Julie,
month.
that's not a goal. That'll take like 3 minutes.
so
You
I,
don't know
yeah,
me.
so careful.
Now,
Careful, Danny.
the floral ghost. That's a goal.
That's not happening.
So you've already got one homework assignment, Em. You've
yeah,
got to talk millennial lingo
Yes,
to your kids.
for
Now
sure.
you're gonna have to show up next week with
Floral ghost.
Floral
ghosts.
ghosts. And you know the best costume is just a sheet with eyes cut out, and then you can be a ghost.
Yes, obviously. Okay, let's move on.
Where are you from? Missouri?
Just
checking.
We have
Y'all. I
You
would
don't even
never
have-
even think that way.
you,
That's what my mom used to do when I was a kid. And she would definitely
Totally
never
mailing
think
it in.
that way. It's just a give up. We call it a give up ghost.
okay, it is. It's definitely a give up ghost.
Are your kids too old for Halloween, Em?
Y'all are evil.
Mine,
Yeah.
I
Evil.
think will probably be. Hattie may have one more year in her.
Yeah.
Henry's done.
Okay.
But like last year, he dressed up as Ken Griffey Jr.
That's cool.
He has a Ken Griffey Jr. Jersey, and so he wore that anyway. And also too, I posted on Instagram, and it was during the World Series or playoff run, and I was like, oh, and I was out of town. I was posting pictures, and I was like, oh, I know it's not a Ranger, but it's all is forgiven because it's fucking Ken Griffey Jr. And then he liked it, or he sent me a DM or something, like a hands
The
clapping
real
or-
Ken Griffey
the
Jr.
real one.
Shut up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I screenshotted it and told everyone about it. And I was like, look it. And I tried to DM him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. You're in my top 5 of people I'd like to have a beer with. I would love to meet you someday. I grew up watching you and I love you. And then he didn't ever respond. Because he probably thought I was crazy, but I was like, oh my gosh, I would. And then I told Dave Valley, who's on our broadcast. Dave Valley used to play with him. And I was like, hook a sister up. And so I'm hoping that someday I get to meet and just chat with Ken Griffey Jr. So side note.
That'd be cool.
It would be. Okay. So in the news desk portion of our program, we're doing a lot of quick hits on things that we said we were going to discuss that we haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do TMG happenings before our quick hits, or do you want to go ahead and do happenings?
Let's do our happenings real quick.
Okay, you go through
Because
our
we do
happenings.
have some really cool stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. And you might have seen, because we're posting a lot on our socials about these various things. So the first one coming up is on September 19th. We are going to have our first, which I hope is like the first of a lot, but our first event partnering with Kendra Scott.
Yep.
And we will have a party at the North Park Kendra Scott location. It's going to be on September 19th, Thursday, from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening. And I hope that a lot of people can join us. It's going to be really cool. We're helping them basically promote the new Cowboys line that was just launched. You might have seen Emily posting about wearing it during the Rangers game. I was wearing it. I'm wearing one of the necklaces right now with the little star. And they just have so much cool stuff going on. So at our party, we're going to have, there's going to be ranch waters there. There's going to be wine from our friends at Coppola. We're going to have some past appetizers from our friends at Cane Rosso. And there's going to be little stations set up. There's going to be like looks kind of created for each of the professional teams in DFW. So there will be like a Ranger station, a Mav station, Stars station. It's going to be all sports, Kendra Scott. It's going to be so fun. It's kind of like a dream event, I think, for us. So it's going to be great. Just go check out our socials for the link and you can RSVP there. And there it is. There it is again. Oh, Rob is just awesome. This is so great.
On it.
And 20% of all of the proceeds are going to go back to Susan G. Komen because Kendra Scott's awesome. And when they do one of these parties, they call it a Kendra Scott Give Back event. And so they will give 20% to Susan G. Komen, which is obviously something near and dear to our hearts. And they are full speed ahead preparing for their walks. And that is the next happening that I want to mention is Susan G. Komen. They have actually, what they have going on in DFW is really unique. They're the only market in the country that's going to have 3 signature Komen events, a walk, a race for the cure, and then the Komen 3-day. That will be November 1st through 3rd. Day 1's in Dallas, day 2 in Fort Worth, day 3 back in Dallas. And you can sign up, create a team for both of those walks. The Fort Worth walk is going to be Saturday, October 5th at the shops at Clear Fork. That's the one that I chaired last year, which was a lot of fun. Registration is free for that one. And then the Dallas one is Saturday, October 19th at the campus at Legacy. And it's an actual race this year. And that is www.komen.org/Dallas race. So that is another thing going on in our world. And then one more, and this one is in conjunction with the Dumb Zone. If you want to come hang out with us at ProSlat, they are having their big grand opening party for their Dallas location. It is going to be on September 28th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Dan and Jake will be doing a pop-up remote show at this event. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks. I'll be there hanging around, and we're hoping to have a really good turnout to just kind of introduce everybody to the wonderful people at ProSlat and what they can do, which is, of course, you can see their fine work here behind us. They do the slat wall. They've been helping me with my garage, which is amazing. I think if you're listening to this show, then you might have kids, you might have a messy garage, you might not have time to organize, and they can do all of that for you. You got to come check out their place and come hang out with us and the Dumb Zone. And then lastly, if we want to talk a little bit about what we did today, but we have a partnership with North Texas Food Bank as well here on the Mom Game, and it's a big month for them right now with September as Hunger Action Month. And we've been posting some graphics. There's something specific that you can do each day of September to help promote Hunger Action Month. And today, Emily and I actually volunteered.
Yeah, we did. We went to North Texas Food Bank's distribution center. We got on an assembly line. We were stuffing giant bags full of cabbage, and we were on carrot duty. And then we would weigh the bags, and then they know what they're doing there, obviously. But it felt good. It felt good to do something positive. It felt good to know that, to see up close what our partners do, whether it be in business or in philanthropy. And so the service that North Texas Food Bank provides is so crucial to so many people, so many organizations. It just was a good feeling. And what we're thinking about, and it's very preliminary, but we were thinking about, and y'all let us know what you think, like just having a mom game, like a mom game volunteer shift. It's like from 9 a.m. till 11:30. Then we could go do some lunch and have an event, kind of a little bit of a meet and greet or whatever afterward with lunch. So that's kind of something we're toying around with. So let us know if you think that that's something that you think you would be interested in.
I really liked it. I like just kind of like blocking out the world and just doing that for a couple of hours.
Yeah, they play music and
like working with strangers for a common goal and like chit-chatting with people you didn't know. We talked about bringing the kids there maybe sometime to volunteer too. So it's been really great partnering with them and learning all about what cool things they have going on. So that's TMG out and about, some things that we have coming up, and hopefully you can come see us and come hang out with us.
Okay, time now for the news desk, and we're gonna hit these because we've had them in our notes.
Yes.
We've talked about them, and we'll say, oh, we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that next week, and then we never get to it. So we're gonna start with water confusion. Did we talk about that one already?
We didn't talk about this yet, and okay, this is like one of the Julie's really sounding dumb things that happens a lot. Like today at North Texas Food Bank, when someone asked the guy like, "Oh, where are you from?" and England or whatever. And he was like, Wimbledon. And I turned to Emily and I was like, I didn't know Wimbledon was an actual place. I thought it was just a tennis tournament.
Right.
Like things like that. That falls in the Julie sounding really dumb category. And I don't care. I say these things out loud because I find when you say these things out loud, oftentimes a lot of other people are like, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. And I couldn't confirm.
But people don't say it out loud because they're
just
worried.
Pretend.
That everyone pretends.
They just pretend.
I just learned that
really?
Wimbledon's an actual town.
Yeah.
I thought it was a tennis tournament.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Glad you said that because otherwise I would have left today with missing that nugget.
Not knowing that.
I know.
Now you're a better person.
You can become smarter for watching the mom game.
So moving forward, if that comes up, I won't be the guy that looks stupid.
No.
I will admit my stupidity for everybody. I will take one for the team, and I put all of these things out there.
Thank you.
And actually, that's what Dan and Jake and I used to do a lot on the hang zone, which we called the dumb zone sometimes, which turned into a whole thing because we were always trying to figure out like the chicken and the egg and the what we never knew like how come some eggs could become a chicken and some eggs you eat like. That's one of the things that people just assume they know. But
I still don't get it.
See? So anyway.
It's called Googling into the ether.
Yes.
Right. You just Google.
Just alive.
So maybe we call this my dumb zone segment of the day. So I was in DC for that podcast conference and a couple of weeks ago. And we went out to like this bay area and we were taking pictures and I said something like, oh, let's take a picture here in front of the ocean. And just assumed it was a really big body of water. And my cousins who live there were kind of like, okay, like being so sweet because they're kind people. But turns out it was like just a really big lake and no one told me. And so then I found out it wasn't an ocean. And then it was just this whole thing. And I get confused. Like when you're standing at a body of water and just looking out, and you kind of know where you are on the map, but not really. How are you supposed to know?
I don't know. But you did say when we were taping the mom game that time, you were like, and right back there is the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. You can see it.
I know.
And I was like, wow. Also dumb. I'm like, does DC have ocean capabilities? Like, what are we working with here?
So apparently there is an ocean like an hour away that is more of like a river, like an
ocean tributary?
A narrow ocean. What do you call that? The part of the ocean.
There's only 7 of them.
Right?
No, that's continent.
See how she tries to big time me and then she questions. There's only 7 of them.
No.
Right?
No, I just, hey, fuck off. I just called myself out. Or is that continents? How many? There's 7 continents.
There's 7 continents.
For sure.
So there might be more than 7 oceans.
Yeah, I don't.
How many oceans are there? Go, keep telling your story.
Well, that was kind of my story. Is just like you
don't know about ocean.
Like if you're somewhere new and you see a big body of water and you're just trying to talk, like how do you know what to say?
I think the way you tell the difference is you taste the water. Salt, ocean. Not salt, lake and or
very
tributary
good point,
or
Daniel.
River or
So before I finish my sentence, like just give me a second. I'm gonna go taste this water.
Now a sea could be salty
even
as well.
better. There's only 5 oceans.
Yeah.
So suck it. No,
wait, why do I have to suck it? Because there's 5 oceans.
No, I don't
You
know.
said
Suck
7.
it, Julie. I mean, Emily said.
This is the way I turn things around. No, I didn't know there was only 5 oceans. Can you name them?
Atlantic. Danny can name
Atlantic, Pacific, Indian.
Atlantic, Pacific, Indian.
That's all I got. All I got.
Atlantic.
The Southern Ocean
Okay, that's
is also known as the Antarctic Ocean.
Oh.
And then there's an Arctic Ocean.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So
And then
now-
there's lots of C's.
Yeah.
Lots of C's.
Caspian Sea.
Lots of C's.
Let's name as
And
many C's.
C's.
as you
Okay.
can.
Starting now.
Mediterranean.
Black Sea.
What?
The Black Sea.
Black
yeah.
Sea.
Oh, black. I thought you said Black Sea.
Dead Sea.
I don't know.
Ooh, the
Red
Red Sea.
Sea.
Red
Uh-huh.
Sea.
Yeah.
I think I'm out.
All right, that's enough.
NYC.
Oh, tricky.
New York City, come on.
So dumb.
So that's my water
Okay,
confusion. I don't know how everybody just goes through life knowing, like, especially if you're traveling,
Yeah.
what is what.
Yeah.
It's really dumb, but
it's okay. Look at all this bodies of waters. Wow.
Arroyo Bay,
Mhm.
Bayou,
Nice.
Bite, Born,
Okay.
a burn.
A burn.
Look at that burn over there. About
Wow.
a river.
Wait, I think you fish in burn or berm. Anyway.
I bet Mike knows what a burn is.
Oh, 100% he does.
A firth.
No, okay.
That's cool.
All right. Again, let's move on. Okay.
Anyways, trying to keep the train.
I'm trying to keep this train on the tracks.
Welcome to the dumb game.
Water.
I love
Here we
it.
go. Okay. What about Whataburger? What's your beef with Whataburger?
Whataburger.
Do you even
what's your
remember that
beef
was a
with
long time?
Whataburger?
See what I did there?
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to revisit that one.
Okay, we'll
It's
put
left my
what do you
brain.
call that? We'll put a marker on that. Pin that.
Yeah, let's pin
What
that.
do people say?
They say pin that.
High level meetings.
That's
All
a
right,
new
let's-
thing.
well,
I've
let's
heard that
pin
lately.
Okay.
In my
I've
sales
heard
calls.
dog ear it.
Let's
Dog
put a
ear
pin
it.
in that.
Put a
okay.
pin in that.
Pin
Yeah.
in that. Okay. Taking calls in odd kid situations.
We took a call with Rob, and then we were like, we have to talk about this on the show because Rob, we were the three of
Oh,
us.
because I was yelling
and
at people.
Emily's yelling at Hattie, and you were yelling at Hattie about something.
I don't know. I probably said I would snatch the life out of her, which I say all the time, and I don't really mean it.
Snatch the life out of her.
Like, I will snatch the life out of you.
God. That is so mom.
So, Mom.
I'm going to knock you in the next week.
You're gonna think. That's
Uh-huh.
my favorite. Is you're gonna think. They'd be like, "What? I'm like, you're gonna think what? You're gonna think." They're like, what does that
Oh,
even
yeah.
mean? Like, I'll be like, football. You're gonna think
think
football.
football.
God.
You're gonna think football.
Good
And
for
they're like,
mom.
they don't-
Yeah.
I love
they're-
when, like when you're so mad and you're
Yes.
trying to say something, but you don't
Oh.
really know what you're saying, but you're trying to say it with force. You're like, well, I'm gonna,
yeah.
It's like bad dad cussing. Shit, damn, what's the matter with
Yeah.
you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and then I think that you're gonna think is
Snatch
just
the
like
life
it's
out
just
of
like
you.
it's a default that like when you're in that heated, like you don't know how to really come back. You're gonna think whine. They're like, you're not even making sense.
And then
Mom.
and then when they
and then
start
they're
to-
like trying not
don't
to
talk
laugh.
back to me.
Oh, and then they're trying not to laugh. I'm like, oh, you think this is funny? You're gonna think funny. I'll show you funny. Like.
None of it makes any
No,
sense.
none of it makes any sense. We're just making fools of ourselves
yes.
as
Mom-
parents.
My mom had one that made 0 sense. And it would happen when I would challenge her on something. It's like, well, you're going to have to do your homework as soon as you get home from school. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. She goes, you hide and watch. Hide? Why am I fucking hiding? What am I watching? Hide and watch what?
What does that mean?
I don't know. You never heard that?
But I
Hide
bet
and
it
watch?
scared you at the
Real
time.
sexy.
Did it scare
No,
you at the
not at
time?
all.
Oh, it didn't.
No,
You're
yeah.
like, okay.
There was nothing correct about that sentence at all.
Hide
Hide
and
and
watch.
watch.
Hide and watch.
And then you challenge that, and that's when they shut it down with
Yeah.
a whooping.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
Get
No.
the wooden spoon out.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
spanked my kids when they were young, but
Emily.
sorry.
Yeah.
Modern parenting, Emily.
Did.
I don't do that.
I'm not. Sometimes I'm real progressive, and other times I'm like, let's just get that spoon out. And it just was a wooden spoon. You know who taught me that? Tom Grief. Tom Grief. When my kid. Sorry, Tom.
Throwing Tom under the
No, I mean it was everybody.
Catching
We used to use
strays.
we used to get spanked with boards.
I got the
school.
wooden
Licks.
spoon,
Licks,
but-
but the wooden spoon, and you're not beating the crap out of them, but it's just like it's an effective tool. And
What
And
age
then-
did you?
it was probably
Stop.
like I bet it was like probably when they were like 4 to 6, maybe. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a brief time when that was it actually worked.
Was it an event or was it a way to get their attention?
No, it wasn't like bend over, I'm gonna get you with the wood, but it would be like, and it would be more than anything like I'm gonna get the spoon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, a couple times, like same thing as a spanking. I mean, but I'll probably get killed for that. But yeah, I mean, we got spanked as kids, not very much, but you know, there was times when spankings were effective parenting tool. And oh my gosh, we should probably delete all of this.
No, I think a lot of people do that,
I mean,
feel that
like
way.
I said, I mean,
yeah.
just spanking is not the same as beating the crap out of your kids.
Spankings in the 70s. Those were were events that your dad had to clear out, time on his calendar.
Oh,
for.
yeah.
It was on
From 5 to 7,
Yep.
it's spanking time. Whataburger was when you ordered your kids Whataburger and they came and delivered only drinks. That's what that was when we were talking on the phone. I wanted to know how that story ended. And like, we all have the moment when you're just defeated and you don't want to cook and you're like, I'm doing this. And I felt for you because you threw in the towel and you said you spent like $55 to feed your family Whataburger.
Yes.
And then the lady comes up with 2 sodas.
4. So we order like 4 meals or maybe even 5. I think there might have been more kids at my house. So I order a bunch of meals, and then they each come with a drink. So I'm in the office working, talking to Julie, and I'm like, okay, hold on, the Whataburger's here. So I go out to get it, and she's like, here you go. And I'm like, okay, where's the food? She's like, oh. And I was like, yeah, can you check? And she's like, oh, that's all they gave me. And I was like, okay, well, what do we do here? Like, I need food. Do people really just order drinks from Whataburger, like exclusively without food accompanying them to be delivered to their house? Whatever. Anyway, she ended up going back and she got it.
Okay, good.
She got the food. It was great. She was very kind. And I think I did extra tip her because it took more of her time. And even though it wasn't my fault, but I felt like.
Yeah, that was one of my, because like we'll have these moments where it's like, what would Emily do? What would Julie do? And that was one of my like, okay, how does Emily handle the situation if she orders $50-something worth of Whataburger and they only bring drinks?
No, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. It might be 10 people.
I probably just would have like collapsed and like told my kids to fend for themselves.
There could be a logical explanation for what happened because something similar happened to me when I was delivering food back when I was 19.
Yeah.
I delivered. You may or may not know this, but I have a short pizza delivery career that took up a good portion of my early 20s. Yeah. And I don't know what you know about the pizza delivery business, but a lot of us, when on the job, we like to smoke shitloads of pot.
And you get hungry.
One time, I went out to the car, I had the delivery, and I set it on top of my car and unlocked the door and just forgot that it was on top of my car. I get in the car. And I drive to the destinations. I know where it is. This is before GPS, so you just had to know the neighborhoods. It was a regular customer. So I just leave the pizza on top of the car, and obviously it slides off into the parking lot. I have no idea. And I show up at the guy's house. I don't even look for the pizza. I just get up and walk to the door with nothing in my hands because I was so stoned.
You're like, I'm here.
The door, and he looks at me, and he looks at me just standing there, and he kind of leans past me, and he looks at my car, and he goes, you think it might be in the car? And I looked at him and I looked back at the car and I go, I don't know, man. So I walked back to the car. I opened the door and I looked in. I go, no, it's not in here.
Not there.
He's like, what do I do with you, dude?
I go, I'll be back in a little bit. So
oh my God.
Found a payphone, called in. Hey, rush this pizza. I had to go back and
that you still walked up there to just present yourself.
Like imagine standing in front of this guy's house with nothing.
Hello.
Except a pizza in hat.
I'm your delivery guy.
Somebody order Danny.
Yeah, I know, right. At least in the porns, they show up with something.
Right.
In a box. I don't know what's in it.
A prop of some sort.
I heard someone was hungry.
That's funny.
Where's your wife? This isn't going to work.
Oh, that's amazing.
This isn't that kind of porn fella.
He's a man that doesn't have his pizza.
No pizza. It was in the car.
That's amazing.
So that could have happened.
That's brilliant. That could have been. It could have slid off the top of her car. She could have been stoned.
Ripped.
Okay, and then the next couple I have on here. Okay, I'm not gonna say the word. I'm gonna.
This one.
I'm gonna.
I've been wondering
lead
about
up to
this.
it. So we all, if a guy is cheesy and whatever, like if you're a guy and you're posting like mirror selfies with your shirt off and you're all ripped, it's okay. I'm sure you're terribly attractive and all that kind of stuff, but also you're kind of a douche. Like it's douchey behavior. And douche isn't necessarily like not a terrible thing. It's just kind of, you can just be kind of douchey. Like I don't really dig that, but some chicks dig that, some whatever. So my view of a douchebag or being douchey is not necessarily your view or whatever. But one thing we don't have in our vernacular is the female version of a douchebag. So I presented this in the Rangers clubhouse the other day, and I cannot reveal who gave me this glorious, glorious word that I can use in my vernacular when I think someone is a female douche.
Has he been on the mom game?
He has not,
Okay.
and I cannot say anything else.
All right.
So I just throw it out. I go to this like little safe corner of the clubhouse that will always just kind of humor me with ridiculousness and whatever. They'll shoot the shit with me or whatever. So I go and I'm like, okay, I need everybody's help. And I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, okay, I need I need a term for like, a female douchebag. And immediately out, like within seconds, this glorious human spits out, oh, that's a twat waffle. I was like, wait, what did you just say? Yeah, it's a twat waffle. And I was like, that you just changed my life. Like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
Okay, so Kinsler's retired.
I know,
It's
not Ian.
Yeah.
It's not Ian.
The first one.
Twat waffle. And I got so inordinately happy about this, and so now I've been using it all the time, and then I call them T-dubs for short.
Okay, this could be your
T-dub.
thing. This could be your
T-dub,
demure,
yeah.
your pookie.
Yeah,
This could be it.
twat waffle.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my. We're learning new things. So
Do y'all think that's valid for a
Twat
female
waffle?
I
douche?
never heard that in my life.
right, but don't you think it nails it?
It's funny.
Twat waffle.
For a female D-bag?
I would never call
Somebody
Do you have
twat
any
waffle
other
for-
ideas?
What about a T-dub?
T-dub, but that's still.
The word,
I don't even like
can't,
saying it. It
I can't
sounds
say it.
You don't
gross.
like saying twat waffle?
No.
It is a gross
No.
term.
I can't say it.
Also, wildly inappropriate. Like, this is who I am. So
Do you say the C word?
I bet the C
I mean,
word came up a lot, right?
I don't. No. I don't say it a ton. It is cringy for me to
Mhm.
say it. I don't really say it a lot, and I'm always kind of like, ooh, when I hear it. But then I'm like, who the fuck am I talking about? Like, I have the worst mouth of anyone I know.
I think
Yeah.
if you put a Y and use it as a descriptor as opposed to
Okay.
calling someone specifically the
Yeah.
C word,
Yeah.
that really takes the edge off of the C word.
Does
If you
it?
say,
It
yeah,
does.
Add the Y to
Yeah,
the
I'm
end.
Add
not
a
a
Y.
big. It's so funny in our group chat for my baseball girls. Julia Morales with the Astros hates that word.
Yeah.
So if we ever see like a meme or something with it, we always just send it.
Oh, that's
Cool.
nice.
She's always like, ah. But I don't. It's not as jarring to me, but it's definitely low on my list of
I don't like
Sure.
any derogatory term for that body part.
the P. You don't like the P is very.
I don't
also-
like any of
Yeah.
them. Maybe I
Okay.
I'm like I don't. So I think that
You just.
the T waffle. I
you
think
can't even say it.
I think that is probably sufficient. I don't have a better answer
Okay, well,
for a female D bag.
Think about it. I mean, if you
Yeah.
have something later on, just this workshop it. Just float stuff
Bring it
out
to
there.
y'all bring it to the dumb
table.
zone.
Bring it
They
to the
could
table.
they could toss that around
Yeah.
and get back to us. We might
Uh,
have some good ideas.
okay, then we have couples bathroom talk on here.
Uh,
We talked about that last week. Like, do you go to the bathroom in front of your spouse?
I think y'all talked about this on the dumb zone, like last week maybe.
We talked about it on this
And
show.
I know, and then they also
They
did, and
talked
I
about
made it in my notes that I wanted to talk with them, or y'all were talking about how soon you toot in front of people.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it was.
So yeah, so this is random, but when Mike and I started dating, like it was a long time before that happened, before we passed gas around each other. But I also too, this is how weird I was. I was like, okay, if he farts around me, that means he really feels comfortable around me, and I like saw it as a compliment. Is that weird? Probably. I don't care.
No, I mean, you were probably right. Like, he
yeah,
was comfortable.
Like,
so
okay, he
if
must be really comfortable if he's. But we don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't. I try not to do that. I mean, sometimes things
yeah.
happen.
a lot of different frames you could put around that picture. However you want to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So,
One could look at it in the frame of, well, the romance and mystery is gone.
yeah.
That we've
Right.
just devolved to this. We're We're just untrained
And don't you
animals.
feel like it is so, and no
other.
pun intended here, but like it is a slippery slope.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. Okay.
Like you, like one,
Who's gonna
two,
break the
and then all of a
seal?
sudden
Because
it's
not
like,
something you
right.
probably
okay,
discuss.
let's settle down here.
Right. Let's rein it back in.
Because it has to happen naturally. You're not going to have a discussion about it
like-
before somebody breaks the
Right.
seal. Somebody's going to have to draw first blood. And then you're going to have to find out what's the reaction of the other person. Or are they just being cool, or do they secretly hate it?
Yeah.
Are we really communicating about this?
I think
I don't know.
But mostly it's going to start accidentally. No one's going
err
to do it
on
on
the side
purpose.
of caution.
Right.
Err on the side of
Okay,
not.
so what about, do you close doors when you go to the bathroom? Like,
I do.
number one.
I always do. Yeah.
Okay. even
There's only
number
so many, like, when you're married and living with someone, there's only so many.
one. Right.
I don't have a fishing room.
You don't.
Like, I wish
Sure.
I
You need a
did sometimes. There's only so many places you could have privacy, and that's one of them. So,
Right.
yes.
Okay. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, no, I was going to tell you a story. So keep that in mind, right?
Okay.
Like that's your private place, right? It's private things going on in there. Hell's coming out from places, whatever. So,
What?
Mhm.
well, I mean, everyone
right.
poops. Like, let's.
Oh, so you're calling that hell?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
it kind of is.
It's the devil's
It
business.
is. I mean, come on. So I'm at a gas station, and we all know I have bathroom anxiety. Like I have to go to the bathroom when I don't think if I'm going to go for a long
Okay.
drive, whatever.
Uh-huh.
This happened this morning, and I
Uh-oh.
was saving it for this.
Oh,
So I go
here.
and I open the door. We're in a public bathroom in a gas station. Girl is full on sitting on the toilet, hands by her ankles, on her phone, doing business.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, you have one job as a patron of a gas station bathroom, and it's to lock the fucking door. You are in your most vulnerable state,
Yeah.
and you forget.
So you
locked-
walked in on her?
It wasn't even closed all the way.
Oh, no.
So I just like go women, and there she's. Oh, and I was like, what?
Doesn't
what
give a
part
F.
of- How do you let that happen?
That's
How do you
weird.
let that happen to where you're sitting on a toilet in a public
Maybe-
restroom in a gas station, pants around your ankles, and that shit is not even closed all the
That's
way?
so gross. That's so gross.
What are we doing? It's happened to me at the ballpark too.
Really?
What are we doing?
Yeah, you gotta.
You're so vulnerable.
There
You're
was
sitting
So
there
vulnerable.
half naked.
And why should we feel bad because we opened the door on somebody
Yes.
doing hell's business on the can? And I always feel bad. Like, oh, why should we say I'm sorry? You should open this. Say, hey, lock the fucking door,
Yes.
dude, and then shut it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not our fault.
I just thought that was crazy.
That is
Can
crazy.
you imagine going to the bathroom in a public place and not locking the door?
No. Like even
Yeah.
having
And
it
if
cracked.
you make sure it's locked.
Oh,
Right?
double
Yeah.
check.
And if it's like, if there's something faulty with the lock, you're finding a strategic way to
Yes.
make,
Position yourself.
and get your foot against it or
Yeah.
set up some
Yeah.
type of trap.
Oh God. That's terrible.
So anyway, yeah, that's all of our. Oh, we were going to talk about the marriage sleeping. Do you want to say that? For
Let's
next
save
week?
that because it's probably longer.
It is
Yeah.
longer. Okay. Now we've cleared our cachet.
We've cleared our cachet. We've emptied our tackle box.
We have emptied our tackle box. We do have one thing in the tackle box to carry over to next week. That's my ears are still small.
So no bathroom in front of the spouse, right? We in your home.
We'll go door open like at night, like if he's sleeping.
Okay, but
We go door
will
open at
you
night.
be number oneing while your husband's brushing his teeth like 3 feet from you?
I would, but we're
What about him?
for sure.
And you're fine with that. You're just
100%.
brushing
I
your
don't-
teeth, and there's urine molecules flying all
I
over the
don't
bathroom and
Well,
going
I
in
mean,
your
we
mouth.
have our toilets
That's a
in a
good idea,
separate little
Emily.
room.
Uh-huh.
Our toilet, but so I'm not very big on hygiene either. We've talked about this.
Really?
Like,
yeah, she only
I don't-
washes her hands like every one
It's
in
kind of a
5
contradiction.
I don't. I
considering how
know it really
OCD
is.
you are.
I was raised by a man, and so he didn't emphasize the washing of the hands and all that stuff. So I'm like, it's fine.
Whatever.
I mean, if I go number 2, obviously I'm washing my hands. But
Let's
speaking
cut
of,
that for
I have
social.
to pee really bad right now.
That's a
Stop.
social
She's trying
I
to
have
wrap
to
it up
pee.
so she
Like-
can go pee with the door open.
I have to pee right now.
Okay, don't forget to lock. All right. Well, there you go. Perhaps our last
ending the
show
show?
here, and perhaps next week we will
Okay.
be in the Mom Game studio. Emily's out. Danny, it's so fun. I'm so excited.
You know,
for
I
the
love you.
future of the mom game and the dad game, being a part of it now too. And yeah, I think next week we will be in the new studio, and I think it's just going to be us again. As far as we know, we don't have a guest booked, but don't forget to come see us out at Kendra Scott on the 19th and make those plans to join us at the Pro Slat Dallas location on the 28th of September, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'll be out there with Dan and Jake, and hopefully maybe Danny too. And we will be partying. And that's it for now. Emily's gone. So if you want to join us, we basically just look into the camera, we throw up double peace signs, and we say, Mom game out.
Mom game out.
Awesome, y'all. That was fun.